started, let's talk Drew Lock, Justin Herbert. As I mentioned, both of these guys, they had a big-time matchup this past weekend. You had Drew Lock and the Missouri Tigers going up against Georgia, and then Justin Herbert and Oregon faced off against the Stanford Cardinal. Now, both teams lost, but I think it was a tale of two stories for these two quarterbacks. Let's start with Herbert first. 6'6", 225 pounds. You know, when I've watched him in the past, I was really looking forward to seeing him this summer. You know, watching him a few games live last year, he really seemed to have a lot of potential to be one of the top quarterbacks in this class. And this summer, I wasn't totally impressed. I saw a lot of inconsistencies. I saw a lot. I didn't see much anticipation. And to be honest, you know, some of the Josh Allen comparisons I was starting to see, you know, they're both tall, 6'5", 6'6". They both have strong arms. Herbert's is not as strong as Allen's. Both can make plays with their legs. They're not necessarily running quarterbacks, but they can extend plays. They can, you know, get good yardage, you know, on scramble plays or design runs. Right? So I wasn't high on him, and I was seeing people mock him in the top 5, top 10, and I just wasn't quite getting it. So I was super excited to see this Stanford game, and man, did he not disappoint. One of the knocks on Josh Allen, and I still feel that Justin Herbert plays a similar style. I think when we see player comparisons, people think, oh, you think he's going to be Josh Allen. No, not necessarily. I think he plays in a similar style. The way they play the game is the same, but I think Herbert is better. Because if you look at Allen, his biggest knock was his completion percentage. He completed, you know, everyone knows, completed 56% of his passes in college. I didn't think his accuracy was as bad as other people were saying, but I get that it wasn't great. I'm not saying, dude's a pinpoint accurate thrower. You guys are crazy. No, I'm not saying that. Okay? But I felt that with Allen, he needed to go to a team that was going to have contested catchers, guys that can go up and get the ball. I don't think that's the case with Herbert, and you see that with this Stanford game. You know, the guy completed 92% of his passes in regulation. Now he went 0 for 4 in overtime along the goal line and ended up throwing an interception. But 92%. And it's not like he was dinking and dunking, throwing those quick wide receiver screens the entire time. He was driving the ball down the field. He was throwing touch passes over defenders. Okay? One of the things I was looking to see, and I didn't see this summer that I saw in this game, was he showed the ability to throw with anticipation. He was reading defenses. You know, he read the defense that, you know, they're playing off coverage, you know, and his receiver was going to run a hook route, and he ended up making that throw before the receiver made his break. The receiver was able to make his break, and the ball was practically up on him. Right? There was another throw in that game where he had a receiver. It was going to be an in-breaking kind of deeper drag type route, and when Herbert threw the ball, the guy wasn't open. He threw to the open space reading that defender was going to sit down in that zone, knowing that his receiver was going to break across, and he got a big completion out of it. And there was throws like that. It's not like those are the only two throws. He had probably 4 to 5 throws like that. We always talk about these college football players. Can they learn to throw with anticipation? In this game, Herbert did. I thought his ball placement was good too. And we talk accuracy, ball placement. It's kind of the same thing. But when I look at ball placement, I'm like, is he putting the football in the best possible spot for his receivers to make the catch? There was a throw along the goal line on an out route where he rifled the ball in there, but he put it low. And some might say, oh, he was off target. But no, he wasn't, because he threw that to a spot where only his receiver could get it, and the defender had no play at it. That's good ball placement. There was another throw, kind of an in-breaking route down the field, going from left to right. and he put the ball kind of behind the receiver. And, once again, you think, oh, gosh, is he not throwing with good accuracy? But actually, he saw that the safety was barreling down, and he threw it, made his receiver adjust so that he could absorb the contact better. He could protect him. That's next level stuff. And that's stuff that Baker Mayfield was praised for doing. He showed touch in this game. A lot of times you can see these quarterbacks, they throw these touch passes, the bucket throws, and they got to put a little air in it and arcs down and into the receiver over a defender. He was doing that and still relatively putting the ball on the line. It was pretty impressive to see. I haven't seen something like that in a long time. So based off of this game alone, I gave him, I tend to grade the games. And you combine all those games together, and that's how I get my final grade. He had a first-round grade in this game. And if Justin Herbert can continue to have games like this, he's going to be a top 10 pick. He's going to be the first quarterback taken. Now, Drew Lock is the other quarterback. He's got a lot of hype. And just like Herbert, I wasn't enamored with him this summer. I watched games from 2016, 2017. I just didn't see it. I know he's got a strong arm, and people like that. I know we keep on saying arm strength's not the big deal, and I'm just like, what? I'm just not seeing it with this guy. I've been giving him pretty low grades. I'm like, okay, let's watch his, I got to keep watching his tape. And I even heard that, Locke played well in this game. Don't let the stat line fool you. He only completed about 50% of his passes in that range. I don't have that number right in front of me. But, he's a big guy, 6'4", 225 pounds. Strong arm, like I said. But against Georgia, he dinked and dunked. And part of that could be Georgia's defense is athletic. It's good. Their coaching staff, Derek Dooley, kind of a surprising hire, might have just said, you know what, let's take what we can get. Let's not force the ball downfield. So I get that. But he only threw 15 yards or more 2 or 3 times. 2 times for sure. Where was that big arms talent? That's what he's known for. Was he just being conservative? Was it play calling? I don't know. I didn't think his ball placement was very good in this game. On every in-breaking route, out-breaking route, the ball was not on target. The receiver's cutting across the middle. The ball's thrown to his body, not out in front of him. And it's not like defenders are coming in. They're trailing. So what this is doing is it's, making it a little bit harder of a catch. They got to reach back just a little bit. But then the defender's able to make a better play on the ball. And there were several times that defenders were able to deflect the ball. Okay? There was times where he threw high. Throwing an out route and the ball's up high. His lower body mechanics aren't the greatest, and the ball sails. Like he had a blitz coming, an open receiver cutting outside, and and he can't hit it. When I look at these two and I compare them, and I gave, based on this game, it's not like I'm, Drew Lock's a bum. He's not going to be any good. Don't draft him. I'm not saying that, but I don't think he's a first-round pick. I ended up, and I've increased his grade has gone up the more I've watched him, but I see, and he's got starter tools, but I think he's a low-end starter at best. We talk about, Bucky Brooks and Daniel Jeremiah have this great analogy that I know other people have kind of talked about too, of trucks and trailers. Quarterbacks as truck as trailers. To me, Justin Herbert is a truck. He's a guy that's going to lead his team. He's going to be able to put his team on the back and go and win games. He's going to pull his team. To me, Drew Lock is a trailer. You got to put pieces around him. He's going to need guys to facilitate and make these plays. And that's the biggest difference that I see between these two guys.